All right, folks, the time has arrived. The WNBA season starts tomorrow, May 19th. And before the season kicks off, I wanted to take the time to talk about every single team and to tell you who actually made it on the final roster. And in this video, we're going to talk about the Indiana Fever. So the Indiana Fever came into training camp with 17 players on the roster. Every team is able to have a maximum of 12 players on a roster. So that meant that Indiana had to get rid of 5 players. And they have finally done so. With a caveat. Here is your opening day roster for the Indiana Fever. So we have Queen Egbo, who is a 6'4" center. Lexie Hull, 6'1" guard. NaLyssa Smith, 6'4" forward. Kristy Wallace, 5'11" guard. Emma Cannon, 6'2" forward. Victaria Vivians, 6'1" guard. Kelsey Mitchell, 5'8" guard. Erica Wheeler, 5'7" guard. Grace Berger, 6 foot guard. Aliyah Boston, 6'5" center. Victaria Saxton, 6'2" forward. And Maya Caldwell, 5'11" guard. All right, so those are the players on the roster for opening day. Now let's talk about some of the themes that you'll probably hear about for the Indiana Fever this season. The first theme is who is Indiana getting rid of when Betty Hittar returns? So currently, the Indiana Fever have Bernadette Hittar as a temporarily suspended player. That's because she's currently overseas right now. But there is an expectation that she will be back in the U.S. to play for the Indiana Fever this season. Teams are only able to have a maximum of 12 players on a roster at a time. So when Betty returns to the USA, there's a big question of who is getting cut. I think it's probably between Emma Cannon and Victaria Saxton, as a player who would get cut when Betty Hittar returns. But we will see. I think Indiana coach Kristy Sides is going to wait and see how some of the post players perform. And if they don't perform up to par, I think they will be the one that's cut when Betty Hittar returns. When Betty Hittar will actually return is still a TBD. We don't really know. But she is currently listed as temporarily suspended. So that means there is a plan for her to return this season. Betty Hittar is an amazing post player. She stands at 6'10". She's from Hungary. She's good. And she would be a huge asset to what Indiana is trying to do. And so just keep an eye on that for when Betty Hittar returns, who is getting removed from that team. So that's one theme for the season. Another theme, I think, is how do these South Carolina girls play? Of course, we have the number 1 draft pick in the 2023 draft, Aliyah Boston, on the Indiana Fever. We also have her teammate, Victaria Saxton, on the team as well. And the question is, how will they do? We know that, as rookies in the league, there's going to be a big learning curve, right? The WNBA is way tougher of a league and way faster than college. And so there's definitely a learning curve. And you can tell with the 2 preseason games so far that Aliyah Boston played, she is learning as she's playing. And so I'm really excited to see the growth of both Aliyah Boston and Victaria Saxton by the end of the season. A notable cut was that Destiny Henderson, who was another South Carolina Gamecock player, she recently got cut from the team. This would have been her second year on the team. She recently got cut, and so did a whole bunch of other players around the league that got cut. And so the question is, these players who made the roster, how will they perform? Another question is Grace Berger. Grace Berger is a Indiana staple. She went to Indiana University. And, I'm interested to see how many Indiana University fans show up to the Fever games just to watch, Grace Berger play. And also I just want to see how she, improves as a player. I think she won't get that many minutes, especially to start the season off. But as the season goes on, I just would love to just see how she plays, and how she grows, how her game grows as well. And I guess another question that some people are asking is, will this team go to the playoffs? I say no, this team will not. Yes, this team is way better than they were last year. But there are only 12 teams in the league, and everybody has gotten better than they were last year, or just about everybody, with the exception of the Sky. I think the Sky kind of went down in talent, but just about every other team got better for this season. And I think Indiana will win more games than they did last year. They will surprise some people with some wins. I think their gameplay will just be a lot better. But no, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to be, lower on the seeding list, maybe 11th or 10th or something like that. I don't think they will make the playoffs. If they do, big surprise, great. Because they really need the Indiana Fever fans really need some sort of a positive season of some sort. But I think them improving as a team and them developing Aliyah Boston and Grace Berger, to me, is a win on this season. Knowing that, next season they'll be able to make an even bigger leap. All right, so those are your players. What do you think about the players who are on the Indiana Fever? Who got cut that you are upset about? Yeah, let me know your thoughts. What do you think this team will end up being? Of course, Kelsey Mitchell is gonna ball out and get her points. Of course, NaLyssa Smith, I think, is gonna make a big improvement from last season. I'm really excited to watch her and her development. Maya Caldwell is another player that I am just very, very interested to watch. Yeah, so lots of people to watch on the Indiana Fever. They should be a fun team, an exciting team. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and watch all the other videos that I'm going to make of the other teams and letting you know who is on the final roster. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And until next time, bye.